Have you ever made an Oreo cookies and cream cake? The frosting on this one tastes like vanilla ice cream. It's a whipped white chocolate ganache with Oreo cookie crumbs in it. Let me show you how to do it. Hi guys, it's Miss Bakes a Lot, and today I'm going to finish the cake I started yesterday. I made a video for vanilla cake, and I'm making a cookies and cream cake for my son's birthday. And you don't have to use that vanilla cake recipe. If you have a vanilla cake recipe you love, you can use that. But the reason I'm making a cake video, which I ordinarily would not because I absolutely hate making cakes. I do it for my family. But other than that, no. In fact, my son even asked me to make his wedding cake for him, and I had to say no, you guys, just because the reason I hate making cakes is I hate decorating them. It's just way too much pressure. In fact, when I took those Hostess cupcakes, the video I made, to a party, a guy there asked me to make his wedding cake too because they were that good. I can't do it, you guys. It's too much pressure. I do a pretty good job. If you've seen the cakes on my in my page, I do a pretty good job. It's just I don't do a good enough job, I think, to actually do it for people. But anyways, the reason I'm doing this today, 3 reasons. One, the frosting, you guys. It's not buttercream, and it's not my buttercream that I have on my real buttercream for people who hate buttercream. It is a whipped white chocolate ganache. And you guys, it tastes like vanilla ice cream. It is amazing. So I want you guys to have that recipe. And the filling is a white chocolate ganache, and I'm going to crush up Oreos and put it in there. And that is my white chocolate ganache that I use for my truffles, my white chocolate truffles I make at Christmas time, and it is phenomenal. Third reason, I don't really have to decorate it because it's just a cookies and cream cake. 3 reasons I'm going to do this video for you guys today because I think you should have it. So let's get started, guys. Now, this one is going to require some prep work, but the beauty part is you can start it the night before because the ganache, the frosting ganache it requires being refrigerated at least 2 hours because it's got to be very, very cold or it's not going to whip up. And then the other ganache, the filling, we're going to heat it up to make the ganache, and then it has to come to room temperature, so it can re-solidify to be a filling. So you can do both of those the night before. So I'm going to do mine. I have another cake to make because our family is huge and we're celebrating 5 birthdays on Saturday. So I'm also making a birthday cake, flavored birthday cake too. So I'm going to start this, work on that, come back to this. So, but anyways, this is the whipped white chocolate ganache frosting part. All right. So we are going to take 15 ounces of white chocolate chips. If you want to use more expensive white chocolate, whatever, that's up to you. I just use white chocolate chips. I'm going to do 15 ounces. I am going to use a scale. Usually I don't, but I am. Okay. Going to zero it out with my bowl on it. And 15 ounces is about 2 1/4 cups of white chocolate chips. If you don't have a scale, just don't overfill it. Just do 2 1/4 cups exactly. Okay, then we're going to add 3 cups of heavy whipping cream. And then we're going to microwave it until it is a nice smooth ganache. Everything has to be melted. I'm going to start at 1 minute and then I'm going to go 30 seconds after that. Don't try to do it too fast, you guys. Every 30 seconds until it's melted. And I'm going to switch to a whisk. Okay, so mine took a lot of go rounds, you guys. You got to be very patient with it, and word to the wise, don't whisk it until it's almost melted. Use a spatula or a spoon or something because I got my whisk stuck. Had to switch. So this is what it should look like, you guys. It's very, very liquidy. Can you see that? That's okay because we're going to whip it. So, and make sure all your chocolate is melted. All of it. Look at you guys. Very, extremely liquidy. That's okay, that's what we want. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste because I want those little flecks in there. I think they're really cute, and I'm doing a cookies and cream cake, so the flecks will look just fine. They'll look like cookies and cream. They'll look like cookies. If you don't have it, you can use vanilla. If you want to use almond, you can use that. If you can use any extract you want. I'm going to use vanilla bean paste in mine. Get it all out. Get it on the table. Give it a good stir. And it's going to get a little bit dark, but we're going to whip it and it'll lighten back up a bit. And then I'll show you a trick to make it whiter if you want to. There's a couple tricks actually. And then we're going to use my favorite thing in the whole wide world, plastic wrap. You're going to put it right on the surface of your ganache so it doesn't form a skin. And then you're going to chill it, 2-3 hours or overnight if you're making it ahead of time. And then we'll come back when it's time to whip it. Well, actually, we're going to make the other ganache, the filling now, next. All right, and so we're just going to put that in the fridge until it's ready to whip. Okay, so this time I have in a regular bowl because I'm not going to whip this. I have 18 ounces of white chocolate chips, and I doubled my recipe. And I 3/4'd my recipe. I didn't quite double it. I 3/4'd it. I have an app that'll do that for me. I hope I have enough. Okay, so, and then I have 1 tablespoon plus a 1/2 tablespoon of butter. And I softened it just a little bit in my microwave to help it along. And a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And same thing, guys. I do mine 1 minute. And then 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Give it a good stir first. I don't know if I told you guys before on the last one you can start with 1 minute, or did I say 30 seconds? But you can start with 1 minute. I don't remember. Since I 3/4'd this recipe, I think I should have doubled it. So I actually think I'm going to make another 1/2 batch of this because I don't know if this is going to be enough to fill 2 layers of a 9-inch cake. Actually, it might. But since I 3/4'd the recipe, it calls for 3/4 of a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste or vanilla extract, whichever you have. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball 3/4 of a tablespoon. You'll see this one is way thicker than the one that we're going to whip because this is a filling. You see, this is what this one looks like. Much thicker. But now since this is hot, it's going to thicken up even more as it sits. So we got to let this sit. I don't know. This might be enough. I don't know. This is so hard, you guys. But I can tell you I'm not going to crush up the cookies and put them in here because that's going to take up a lot of room. I'm going to put the filling on the cake and then crush up the cookies and put them on top of it. So here's what we're looking like, guys. Pretty thick. And like I said, it's going to thicken a little more. Don't need to say all that crap, Missy. So we're going to set this aside, let it come to room temperature. Same like 2 hours like we are with the other stuff. Okay, I'm back. It's a few hours later. And I have some Oreos that I crushed up for the filling. And these are, I crushed them up like that. I just threw them all over the table. These are for the filling inside the cake. So I crushed them up pretty. I just threw them in a Ziploc freezer bag and got my big old meat mallet out and crushed them up like that. Now for the frosting, I took regular Oreos, not double stuffed. It doesn't matter because you're taking this, you got to take the filling out, you guys. So let's take a paring knife and get your filling out because the filling is not going to go through your piping bag. So these ones you have to crush to smithereens because, like I said, it's not going to go through your piping bag. So I just take my meat mallet. You can do this also. You can do it in a food processor if you want. I just take my meat mallet and crush them to smithereens. Now after I did it, there's not really that much. I used like 1.5 rows of a family pack of Oreos, so I might need more. And I was also thinking I really don't need to go through my piping tip that much because I'm only going to pipe the top. So we'll see. Okay, we have our ganache frosting we made. It's still very runny, you guys, because we got to whip it. How many of you guys wanted to say whip it good? My 80s people. Okay, so you just start whipping it, and it should whip up into a very beautiful frosting for us, you guys. Whip it on high. Okay, guys, I should have let Cookie Monster do that because that takes a long time. But here's what it looks like, guys. Nice stiff peaks. Don't beat it too long so it doesn't turn into butter, which I don't know if it would with the white chocolate in it. But you guys, this really does taste like vanilla ice cream. It is so good. But I'm going to fold in my cookie crumbs because I don't want to beat it anymore. So I've got my very fine cookie crumbs. And I'm hoping I have enough. Yeah, I think I do. I hope I don't have too much. You never know with me. I'm always doing too much. All right, I don't want to mix this too much because it's getting kind of brown. I probably put too much in, but it's going to taste really good. That's why I don't like making cakes, you guys. I'm going to put this in the fridge for a few minutes. Okay, observe, because this is probably the only time you're ever going to see Missy decorate a cake, because I hate it. But it's not much decorating, but even the frosting. Ugh. It's so annoying. But kudos to you guys who do this for a living because I can't even imagine how stressful. So I'm going to put my frosting all over the table. You see, I didn't mix it in good, but I didn't want to mix it anymore because it's turning really brown. And you guys, I tasted this. Not only the frosting or the icing or whatever it is tastes like vanilla ice cream. When I put in the Oreo cookie crumbs, now it tastes like an ice cream sandwich. You guys, this is going to be amazing. I'm excited for tomorrow. Look at you guys. I don't even have a good turntable. I got this cheapo one I got, but that's how much I hate making cakes. I always say I'm never making cakes, but I always end up making cakes. So I probably should get a good one. But, you know. So, I don't know. The good cake makers always put a dab of frosting in the middle so that their cake doesn't slide. I do it. My cakes never slide. I mean, I guess because I do it. But I never used to do it, and my cakes never slide. But I do it now just because I see them all doing it. So I want to do it to be cool, too. Try to get it centered. That's pretty good. And you always want to put a dam around the outside so that your stuff doesn't leak out. Our stuff is pretty thick, so I don't think it's going to leak out. But we're still going to do it also because when we squish the other one on top, it's going to help us do the sides. Now here's my filling, you guys. This is what it looks like after it sits for a while. And mine did get a little bit hard, so I did mix it with the mixer a little bit. Okay? Guys, this stuff is amazing. I know I say all my stuff is amazing, but trust me, I wouldn't eat it if it wasn't. I would just move on to something else. And I did go make another half batch, and I probably didn't need to, but if I didn't make it, I would have needed to. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I probably didn't need to, and that's probably a little too much. So, gonna spread that around. I'm going to take a little bit out because we got to put our Oreos in there still. Thankfully, I didn't forget. All right, so then we got our crushed up Oreos. Gosh, this is going to be so good. I love when when I come up with a concoction in my head and it actually works, because that doesn't always happen, you guys. Sometimes I come up with concoctions and they don't work at all. But I think this one is going to work. I feel like this one is going to be phenomenal. So I'm pretty excited about it. Get in there. All right, we don't have to do overkill, miss. Okay, and then we have our next layer. Try to get that as centered as possible. That looks pretty good. I always push mine down a little bit to try make sure it's not gonna fall later. Look at me acting like I know what I'm doing. Don't listen to me when it comes to cake, you guys. I can make them look halfway decent, but I really don't know what I'm doing. They taste good, though. They taste good, I'll tell you that. That's one thing. I can make them taste good. All right, we're going to see if that's level. If not, we're just going to push it down in spots where it's not. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then we're going to do it again. I had this much left, you guys, so I think the starter recipe I had would have been fine. But if I hadn't made it, I would have needed more. And then I would have had to wait for it to, all day for it to come to room temperature and all that jazz. So, you know how it goes. Also, I obviously didn't eat all these chopped up Oreos. But if I didn't chop up this many, I'd need to chop up more. That's how things go. Boy, I sound like a real pessimist, don't I? I'm usually not. But this is how things go. It really is. What a Debbie Downer today. I'm not, you guys, I promise. I'm usually not. And I shouldn't be. This is going well. Sorry for that, guys. Push these in a little bit. Push these in a little bit. Okay. And then the last one. Try to get that one on as even as possible. Okay, then we're just going to, I'm going to put a little in these gaps so that when I'm going to go around and anywhere where it looks like it's going to come out. And I'm going to start to go around where all the frosting is sticking out and just fill in the sides. And I know you can't see what I'm doing, but you'll see when it comes around. And anywhere where it looks like it needs a little bit more on the sides, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. I don't usually do a crumb coat. I know a lot of people do. I usually don't need to. And I'm not doing this professionally to sell to somebody, so I might if I was, but I'm never going to. So that's fine with me. So you can see as I'm going around here, that's what I was doing. I was filling in all the gaps on the sides. Then I'm going to take my icing and I'm going to go around. This is a cheap little plastic turntable, but it's not that bad, really, for a cheap little plastic turntable. I'm still not good at doing the whole one-handed thing, you guys, so this is how I do it. I think I'm going to make like a super simple buttercream for the top. Like I'm talking regular buttercream that nobody likes because it's just for decorations, just for like to pipe a couple rosettes to hold Oreos. So let's tell everybody not to eat it if you don't like it. And I am going to go stick this in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes and then come back and finish. And in the meantime, I'm going to go make a super quick buttercream icing just for decorating. Okay, I had this in the fridge for like in the freezer for like 10 minutes. So it's a little hard. So I have a clean towel and a thing of hot water here, and I'm going to keep dipping my palette knife in that because it's going to smooth it out really nicely. That's my cheat code. That's how I do it. And I really don't care if this is super smooth, you guys, because it's, got cookie crumbs all over it anyways. But I should have made a video of the birthday cake I did. I'll post a picture of it. I used most people when they do birthday cake, they just take vanilla cake and they put sprinkles in it. Which what's birthday cake about that? It's not birthday cake flavor, but I used I have a princess emulsion. I used princess emulsion, a little bit of lemon, and a little bit of butter vanilla emulsion. And you guys, it wound up tasting like Superman ice cream. Like it is so good. Like I can't wait to try it tomorrow. Like I tried the batter and a little bit of cake crumbs, but if you're from Michigan, you know all about Superman ice cream. So it's amazing, you guys. I'm excited. I'm excited for both of them, actually. You know darn well I'm having a piece of both. So I'm going to dip my palette knife in here. Our water gets really, really, really hot. So this knife is going to get really, really hot. And it is going to go by this buttercream. Oh my gosh, it's really hot. It's burning my hand off. But it's going to melt this buttercream very nicely and smooth it out. Okay. And then wherever we need any on the top, we're going to add a little bit, and then I'm going to go around with my bench scraper. I don't have a whole lot of super good tools for this, you guys, because like I said, I hate doing it, so I generally don't think I need a lot of tools, which I probably should get some because I wind up doing it anyways. So now I'm going to heat up my bench scraper, this thingy. These things are handy for a lot of things, you guys, when you're working with pastry, cinnamon rolls, a lot of things. So I'm going to go around with that. And that's going to smooth it out even more. I'm also going to go across the top with this one. Just trying to smooth this out a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to be a freak about it because I can never get these perfect. You know, sometimes I try and then I just irritate myself trying over and over and over again. So I'm not going to irritate myself today because, like I said, I already did one cake today. I'm over it. All right, I'm going to call this good for the top. And I'm going to scrape the sides again, see where we're at on the top, and then we're going to decorate, and I'm going to be done. Not a pro here, but I got to try to fix the top a little bit. I'll show you how I watch the professionals do it, but it never works out. I got water over the table. It never quite works out for me like that, but it works okay. So they bring their knife in over the top like this. And I'm going to decorate the top anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know how they do that, you guys. They're very patient. That's how they do it better than me, because I'm not. I made a black frosting. I made a chocolate buttercream. Yeah, I can handle chocolate buttercream. It's regular buttercream that's nasty. Okay, so I am terrible at writing on cakes. If you've looked in my stuff, you've probably seen my cakes look pretty good, but my writing is horrible. So I found a workaround, kind of, except for I made my border too big this time. But I'm still going to do it. So I just buy these little happy birthday things and I put them on the cake, and I buy my cake rounds too big, and I'm going to write the name around here on the bottom. That way I don't have to write it on the cake because I'm terrible at it. But I made a white buttercream, and I'm going to show you guys a trick to get your buttercream a little bit whiter if it turns out a little bit yellow for you. And I know about put a little tiny bit of purple in it, and it'll counteract the yellow and make it whiter. But that doesn't really work for me that good. But they do make this liquid whitener. It's actually like it's like a gel white food coloring, and it actually it works very well. You have to use quite a bit of it sometimes, depending on how you know, yellow your food coloring is. So I'm just gonna make these big old things. And then I'm just going to take Oreos and stick them in there. See, so you don't have to decorate it perfect because you can kind of make it look perfect. You can kind of cheat a little bit. So there you go, you guys. Probably the only cake you're ever going to see me decorate. I'm so excited to eat this one, you guys. So that is it. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you next time.